Y'all, welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new, welcome to Birth and Bosses with Felicia. I am Boss Lady Fee. Happy, what's the day? Tuesday, happy Tuesday to each and every one of you guys. It is getting late, but I wanted to do a gift. Well, not a gift, but I wanted to do a video for my new gift basket designers. And of course, if you've been in it for a while, you can definitely stick around for a refresher course. But I wanted to bring two things into play in this video. But before we get started, guys, I want you to go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you are new here, guys, welcome to this amazing platform of Boss Buddies. And my prayer is that you will go ahead and subscribe while you're here. And if you are returning, welcome back to the channel. To all of my amazing Boss Buddies, guys, we are in the design room. I've gotten quite a bit done today, and I'm ending it up with these two baskets here. This basket was done on video. I believe I did this a few days back, but I wanted to bring two things into play: bow designing and shrink wrapping. Make sure you stick around period, but I definitely need you to stick around for the shrink wrapping part. Okay, I think it will greatly help those of you that are still struggling with the gift basket designing, the shrink wrapping part of gift basket designing. All right, so anyway, y'all, tonight we're going to be using these two colors here, this brown and this orange. And no, this is not a fall basket, although it have fall earth tone colors. Okay, this is just going to be a basket that I take out to sell for Christmas. Okay, so no, I do not go out and sell anything for fall unless it's something unrelated to gift baskets. I may go out and sell something else, and I may just take a couple gift baskets with me, but I never purpose to go out just to sell gift baskets for the fall. Can you do it? Absolutely you can. You can do it any day of the week, any day of the year. It does not have to be a holiday. I say that a lot, and I haven't said it in a while, but it do not have to be a holiday in order for you to do it. Okay, so anyway, when it comes to bow making, there are tons of videos on my channel. I cannot say that enough. Put in bow making, you will have specific videos that pop up for it. And then not only that, there will be bow making tutorials within some of my videos that are not even labeled as bow making videos. Okay, a lot of times I don't do that because those videos get the least amount of views, and people will be asking me all the time about about my bows, but yet when I put up the videos, they don't watch them. Or, I'm going to say they don't watch them because some people do watch them, but not a lot of people watch them. I don't know why, Maybe, they have the concept down, because there are some gift designers that got bows down pat just like I do. But then there are others that are still struggling. So that's why we're here today, for the ones that's still in the struggle game, okay? So there are many different ways that you can make it. Tonight, I'm going to show you this way, and if we have enough time, I'll make another one another way. There are many different ways, but most of the time on my videos, you will see these two different type of ways, but mostly the way that I'm doing now. And all I do, whether you're using one ribbon, two ribbons, 3, 4, 5, however many you're using, it's absolutely fine. Most of the times when you see me designing, unless it's a little small gift, and even with those, sometimes I use at least 2, but you will always see me more than likely designing with 2 colors, okay, 2 fabrics. So what I do is decide how long I want the tail to be. And I don't like really long tails. Sometimes I like them short and sometimes medium length, but most of the time I do not like really long tails. It just depends what look I'm going for. But that's all you do is formulate you a loop. And I'm not going to take a whole lot of time on this because I just recently did a video with a really broken down version of the twist and the turn and use this finger. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just kind of let you guys see me work. And then I more so want to concentrate on the shrink wrapping, okay? Because I have tons of videos on the bows, but not as many on shrink wrapping. So that's kind of what I want to horn in on tonight. But while we're here, we might as well do a little free bow tutorial, okay? These 2 fingers are always going to be very important. You're going to use them two here to hold that. And you're going to use these two here to twist. You're just going to go right up under where you got that finger, lift it a little bit, and twist, okay? Once you twist, you put your hand right back down on top of that knot. Use this finger to pull it out or to push it out so that you can go ahead and start formulating a bow. You're using this hand. You might can't see it from the direction that I got the camera. But you use that hand, those fingers just to push it out. And you make your bow basically the same size, okay? Measuring, no, okay? I'm not that girl. So if you into the measurements and stuff, sorry, I love you. Stick around, keep watching. But you're going to have to find another channel for the measuring, okay? I don't have time. And I say that with all humbleness and sincereness. I do not have time to measure, okay? I've never been a measuring type of girl. That work for some people and some that don't. I am a creative flower. I go with the flow. Because I've learned in being creative, sometimes everything is not going to be perfect. Everything's not going to align. But when you put your heart and soul into designing, it will show in your work, okay? I'm not, as a buyer or consumer of your gift, going to necessarily be looking to see, let me see, is that loop exactly the same size as the one over here? No, when you put your love and attention into it, it's going to show, and that's what's going to sell, okay? We into what's going to sell. And we're also into what's going to make our lives more simple. Now, am I telling you not to measure stuff and not to make, no, that is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is once you get the hold of something, a lot of times you may not go the extra step of the mile for measuring and, making sure this loop is that size. And make sure that loop is lining up with that size, because when you do that, it takes away the fun from what you're doing. And I'm so quick with making bows, y'all, that I just didn't make the bow without even explaining. But hopefully you've seen it. Once you do it one time, you just keep repeating the same thing on the other side. Now, most of the time, whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. But here lately, I have not been following that rule. Just because sometimes I want to give it a extra loop without, using up so much ribbon. I'll do an extra loop on one side and not the other side. Because once you spread them out, you're not going to know which side the loops are on, because it's all going to be combined together. That's if you are separating your bows the way that they should be separated, okay? Nobody should be able to tell what side the loops were on. And I'm going to leave that long because there's a possibility that I may add. Let's turn it up some. Pull it up some. There's a possibility I may add a little bit of ribbon back here in the back. Let's just see what this is giving, okay? If we need to add a little small bow back there in the back, we will. So we just pull it. And make sure that you are using your zip ties or your pipe cleaners. I prefer pipe cleaners. Some people prefer zip ties. Again, whatever works for you. Whatever floats your boat, okay? I love zip ties. Not zip ties. Actually, I hate zip ties. I love pipe cleaners. But some people hate pipe cleaners. They love zip ties. So you just got to know what works for you. Alright, so there we go with our bow. It's all separated and cute. Cutie, cutie, cutie pie. I reckon y'all said, well, let us see. Cutie, cutie, cutie pie. And we're just going to go in. I always tell you, never leave your ends ragged. Whether you are doing a slant, whether you're doing a straight across, whether you're doing a ducktail like I'm doing now. The object of the game is to keep it nice, neat, and flowy, okay? You don't want, as I say all the time, you don't want your bow to look like a rat have been chewing on the end of the ribbon, because you didn't take the time to finish off what you started. And that's what it looks like when you do not complete your tails on your bows. It look like you just gave up halfway the project. And we don't want to do that. We want to give finished project vibes, okay? That's what we want to do. So we're going to leave it there. I'm not going to add a bow to the back. I think that's good enough. That's sufficient. So we're going to go ahead and cut the excess off. And we're going to bend it in because, y'all, these pipe cleaners will stick in your hands. So be very careful with that. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So now to the shrink wrapping. And we don't want this video to be long at all. So we're going to be quick and to the point. The size bags I use, I want to say 24 by 30, 22 by 30. Something to that degree. If I do get a chance and I think about it, I'll look them up to see. But anyway, that's the only size shrink wrap I buy. If whatever I'm wrapping does not fit in that bag that I buy, then I just don't use shrink wrap. I go to cellophane wrap. So, you know, maybe that's something I'll do in the future, but it's just something I've never done. I just buy one size bag and that's what worked for me. Okay. So anyway, with that being said, this bag, as you can see, is too big, right? You got a lot of excess over here on the side. Y'all, one of my pet peeves is when this shred fall out of this. Oh gosh, I hate it. Let me just go ahead and open up the bag. When this shred fall out of the basket and fall down, y'all probably have seen me on videos. I put a slit right in that bag and pull all that shred out. Sometimes I just let it slide, but for the most part, honey, I can't do it. Again, to me, it looked like an unfinished project. Like you said, oh, well, I'm just going to let that go. So, anyway, this is a 360 basket, right? And the object of the game is to make sure that you get as much air out of the bag as possible. Now, some people cut a hole in their bag. I don't. I just basically, there's been a time or two that I will cut the bag. But for the most part, I just take my hands. You'll see me pushing up on the bag sometimes. That's what I'm doing, is pushing the air out. Even though I have my bows up here, my pipe cleaners, they're never so tight that air cannot escape through the bag, okay? I've never had it so tight where air could not come through the bag. But if you should have that problem, you could simply just, you see how I'm holding it slow? And maybe you can't tell from the video, but the air is escaping as I'm holding and pushing into the bag, okay? So you want to get as much air out of your bag as possible. Now, the object of the game is when these bags are too big, you guys, it's okay. I would, even though this one was almost too small, that's why you don't see much gather at the top, right? But I make it work. When it's too small, you can simply tape down on one side, which is what I do when it's too small. I'll tape that side down, and then I'll gather what little bit I have left onto that side and just make a side bow, okay? Which I love side bows in my wreaths and in my gift baskets. Sometimes I do not like them on the side. It just all depends. Boss Lady feet go different ways with different flows, okay? So anyway, when the bag is too big, you do not want to leave this bag loose like this and think that your shrink wrapping gun is a magician. Your shrink wrapping gun is just that, a shrink wrapping gun. It's not a magician. Only a magician is able to get all this air out the bag and it not look crazy, okay? Baby, listen, we don't have no gift basket magicians, okay? So what you want to do is take whatever is extra and loose. You want to tie it down to the bottom. You see how I took it to the side? Then I went under, right? So right here we still have quite a bit. Now this would be okay to just shrink, right? But just because we don't want those extra traumas or dramas, we're just going to go ahead and take that as well, okay? So we come to each corner Even if the bag is not too big, you still want to tape these corners up under the bottom, okay? Because again, the shrink wrapping gun is not going to do but so much. And then if you have a shrink wrapping gun that is not of good quality, then you may have an issue with shrinking your bags as well. So there are many different things that play into, that plays a factor whether you are able to shrink wrap properly or not. You sometimes can have a poor quality of bag. Now, these particular bags here I got from Temu, and some people probably would think if they came from Temu, they may not be of good quality. I've had absolutely no problems at all with these bags because the vendor that I had for years, I don't know if the person died or what, but every time I placed the order was never shipped out. So I honestly think the person got sick or died or something and just never took their product from being listed. Well, if they would, I didn't mean to say it like that. If the person had died, of course, they couldn't take it off. But I'm just saying, maybe, the family members or whatever never took the listings off because I tried to order over and over again and it never worked. So anyway, there's so many different factors that can play a part. But if you have pretty good quality of bag, and I've never really bought a shrink wrap bag that wasn't of good quality. So if your shrink wrapping isn't working, it may be the quality of your bag, but there can be so many other factors. Your shrink wrapping gun may not get hot enough. I've expressed to you all, I've used a blow dryer for years, over 20 years. I just recently started using a shrink wrapping gun, a heat gun, when one of my subscribers bought it for me. Shout out to my baby girl. She know who she is. So, once I started using that, then that heat gun produced a better quality. Now, the blow dryer worked wonders. But once I got that heat gun, I realized I had been slacking myself all these years. Like, the heat gun works much better. And it gives a more polished, finished look. All right? So, you guys stay tuned while I plug it up. And bam, we're back. Okay? So most of the time, as I've mentioned many times over, oh shoot. See, that's how I told y'all earlier. This thing right here, don't play, baby, okay? That's why I don't always be using this to melt labels off. Because, baby, this right here is no thing to be played with, okay? But anyway, I've mentioned times over before in the past that I normally start at the bottom, okay? If you start at the top, it's okay. 9 times out of 10, it's still going to come up good. It's going to come out right. But let's just start at the bottom and work our way to the top. And you'll see me spinning around. And there's a piece of wrap or something that came off of the bottom or something stuck right there. So I'll have to open that basket up with a little slit and get it out. But for the sake of the video, we're going to keep on going, baby. Just keep on moving. Don't stop. By the hand. Gotta keep moving, baby. Alright. So you see, I went from the bottom and I went to the top. And then you'll see me still working my way around at the bottom sometime, especially if I see a spot that, I might have missed or a place that's not as tight as I want it. I'll keep going around. But the main thing, especially if you have a really good hot, I always want to say glue, a heat gun, you want to keep it moving steady at all times. Now, if you got one that barely heats up, you might be able to let it just sit there on the item. But this right here, no ma'am, no sir. You're going to have your big, gigantic hole in your basket, okay? Once you've done it, it's best to go ahead and cut it off. Don't keep going back over it over and over because you're going to make a hole in your bag, okay? So, that's what it is. Let's see if we got time real quick to do our other style of bow. And ooh, that thing sounds like it's burning. I think I laid it on top of something. I'm going to use some mesh. And this particular style basket here, I did this yesterday on video. And I ended up putting a bow on the front and the back of this 360. You guys will be seeing that within the next day or two. All the finished baskets that I have done. I think I might got over 30 again. I know, what was it, last week we did 34. I think this week we got at least 30 more. So Boss Lady Fee ain't playing no games. She ain't playing no games. Baby, when she coming through. She coming to shut it down, okay? I say that all the time. Boss Lady Fee coming to shut it down. And if you ain't coming to shut it down, stay home, baby. Stay home. Stay home. Stay home. All right, we're going to use this. What do we want to use? Let's use these two. All right, this style of bow, we just make a circle, a loop, loopity-loop. And it's the same method, but only we're starting instead of the tails hanging. And this particular style, you can do it several different ways. This is just the way that I've become accustomed to doing it. But this particular style, you can do several different ways. I start with the loop. And I pinch it in the middle. And I twist and turn. Okay? The purpose of you twisting and turning is to get your ribbon on the right side. If you do not make that twist, your ribbon will be on the wrong side. Okay? So if you've been making bows and you can't figure out why your pattern, the right side up pattern isn't right side up, it's because you're not going in and making that twisting method. Okay? So go in and twist. And so you're going to have the loop in the middle. Then you're going to have the loops on the side. So again, it's the same twisting method. Lift up that finger, put it down on top of the knot. And you're going to keep doing the same thing. Using these fingers to pinch it and push it in. Use those same two fingers to twist it. Lift that pointer finger up, put it on top of that knot where you just twisted. And you go until you want to stop, okay? Some people say when they seasoning food, they be like, I season till the ancestors tell me to stop. So if you want to make your loops until your ancestors tell you to stop, that's your business, okay? If you don't believe in ancestors, that's your business. We ain't here to make her to do all of that, okay? But I like to say that from time to time because it do be funny when people be saying, I'd be like, I just seasoned till my ancestors told me to stop. Alright, so there you have these two, right? I come in and I add me another tail. And like I said, there are several different ways to do this one, okay? So if you don't do yours this way, it's absolutely fine. As long as you come out with a nice finished product at the end, we don't care exactly which method you use. As long as you're using a method, okay? As long as you're making a bow. Only problem we got is if you're not making a bow, all right? Because the bows, can you sell your gifts without bows? Absolutely you can. But we want to do our presentation as beautiful as we can, okay? And your work can still be beautiful without the bow. But we coming as bosses, baby, right? We coming as bosses. And when you're a boss, you shut the city down. You shut the town down. You shut the state down, okay? And if you ain't shutting it down, we got work to do. And if you shutting it down, we still got work to do. Because it's levels to this, baby. It's levels to it. Not only is it levels to it, it's thousands to it. And if you made 10 grand last year, baby, we want to go for 15 grand. And, whoa, thank you, Jesus. I ain't going to get into that. But, baby, I remember when making $10,000, I thought I was a millionaire. And God has advanced my business so greatly. And I thank him and I praise him for it. Oh, God, I thank him. We was talking about that today. How your life should be going from glory to glory to glory. Your business should be going from glory to glory to glory. There's nothing that God has ever done in my life that he did not excel and that he did not boss up. He bossed me up in every area and every year. Every year gets better and better. Every year gets greater and greater. And if you going around in cycles and you hustling backwards, as my husband used to call it, hustling backwards mean you wasting your time. Like, what are you doing? So if you hustling backwards, or you at a standstill, or you at a cycle, you're in a psychopath, okay? Not a psychopath, but a psychopath, where you're going in cycles year after year after year and you're not advancing. You need to stand back, take a look, baby, and see where it is you need to make some changes. You need to pray and ask God to show you where you need to make some changes, because your life should be going from glory to glory, from dimension to dimension, okay? We ain't making 5 baskets for Easter and then turn around making 5 more for Mother's Day. No, 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 no. If you made 5, baby, this year you need to be making 50. And not only do you need to be making 50 and then taking back 45 at home and sitting them on the shelf to collect dust, or sitting them in a storage unit that you paying for and taking